I'm here with Rebecca Hedgecock, and we've been talking a little bit about narcissism. Rebecca, can you tell us about narcissism and how it affects families?
I'll be glad to, and thank you for having me today.
No problem.
I've worked with families for a very long time, and quite often, particularly in the cases of divorce, separation, family conflict, there are personality characteristics and traits that just definitely get in the way of family reconnecting or separating in a wholesome, healthy way. Characteristics of narcissism include the inability to connect emotionally to other human beings. Quite often they're driven by their own needs for satisfaction, direction, goals. So they really can't connect in a wholehearted, wholesome way because they are driven to fulfill their own needs. And so in the case of families, particularly if one or the other, or both sometimes parents have those tendencies, who's left in the middle to try to figure all this out, and it's the children. Because each parent is so caught up in that need to have it their way, it's not a very healthy place for children to reside. So working with those families is very difficult.
So is there an effect on the other spouse as well as the children?
Almost certainly. I mean, it creates something called emotional blackmail is a behavior pattern that sometimes narcissists will engage in to manipulate the other partner and also manipulate the children as well, because they use three basic emotions: fear, obligation, and guilt, to get what they want in their way. So it makes you feel like fog, F-O-G, that you're walking around in this arena of fog, and you're not clear about where you stand in that relationship. So as foggy as they can make it be around you, then they have a higher chance of manipulating and getting what they want. So being able to catch those red flags when they're happening and not get sucked in to that manipulative pattern is better for everybody.
So I know you said they tend to manipulate any possible treatment options. Are there any treatment options for these people?
For narcissism?
Right.
Wow. It's really a restructuring of a whole belief system, I think, at the root of it. Has there been major research studies that says, oh, definitively this can help? DBT has been, but that's with borderline personalities, but some with narcissists as well. Cognitive behavioral strategies help it, but all that being said, the client has to be willing to receive the treatment. And if you think that you're right 100% of the time, then are you going to admit that you have a problem? So typically they don't. So it is difficult. But it plays into parental alienation, which is something very prevalent, I think, in our society in regard to parents having separated, divorced, because if there's still a lot of residual anger and conflict, they're going to try to get that child to side with them against the other parent. And that's detrimental to a child. It's not very healthy at all.
So does the other spouse have any option other than just leaving the relationship?
Mm-hmm. A relationship with the other partner?
Right.
Oh, wow. I wouldn't recommend that they stay if the other parent is not willing to process and to start changing, because they can't change. We cannot change anyone. They have to want to change. So that means being open and willing to listen, to truly listen to things that are troubling in their relationships with other people. But narcissists can't connect emotionally. So getting them to do that, I mean, I think, one of the only options is to really think about, I have to live for me and my child. What can I do to have a wholesome life, and how do I work with this person knowing that they have those characteristics but still stay healthy? Clear boundaries, really getting the child into counseling too, to talk about how he or she is feeling about this, because they still love their parent. Even though the parent may be a narcissist, they still love kids love their parents no matter what. And they do not like feeling like they have to be, divided or conquered in that. So,
Okay, Rebecca, we know each other, but can you kind of introduce yourself?
sure. My name is Rebecca Hedgecock. I have been a licensed professional counselor for over 27 years. I've worked with multitudes of family, circumstance, condition. I love what I do. I just recently also got a second master's degree in mediation and dealing with conflict and understanding conflict more because I was working a lot with families that were going through divorce. And I felt like that conflict is not always a bad thing, but I needed to, for myself personally, be able to communicate that to my clients so that they can have a healthier perspective on conflict and realize that they can grow from the conflict. It doesn't have to be destructive, but it can be used to be constructive.
So, Rebecca, how do people contact you?
I have actually a remote office management system that they can contact at 910-987-6491. My practice is Tools for Life. I do have a web page. It's toolsforlifellc.com. I have a bio there, so I really encourage people, before they schedule with me, check out my web page. Read about my philosophy of life and what I have to offer, before you make that decision. Because it's so important to, beforehand, I think, know a little bit about a therapist before you decide to go spend your money and talking to somebody. Because it is an investment. It is a personal investment. So my practice is here in Southport at 103 East 8th Street. Very convenient to my home. I have it in Southport because this is where I live, actually. I live 0.7 of a mile away. I drive my golf cart to work, so if you become a client and you see a little blue golf cart out front of my office, you'll know that Becky's here. Becky's in her office. And I have been doing this for a very long time. I've been privileged to work in the field of psychology for over 27 years. Not only in private practice, but in larger mental health centers over the years. I did case management through, people accuse me of going on to the dark side, but it's because I did utilization reviews for insurance companies in regard to behavioral health. Did that for a while. I've taught at Cape Fear Community College. I've also taught at the University of Houston in Victoria and Western Piedmont Community College in the foothills. So I've really been blessed to be able to do a lot of different things in the field of psychology, and I enjoy it. And I would recommend young people to think about doing the same thing. In my private practice, I accept a wide range of insurance, private pay, I teach classes, and I lead groups.
Have you experienced someone with narcissistic traits in your life? If so, let us know in the comments. Like, subscribe, and share to maybe help someone who's going through this in their life.